Welcome back to another episode of Searching for McGuffin with your hosts,
George.
Gabe. And Gabe.
No, and Gabe, yeah.
And Gabe.
No, you don't have to do the little, what is it, vocal trill? You can,
trill?
Yeah, you can just make it your own.
Okay, I'll do my own thing.
Okay, yeah. So, week 2, season 4, the new search begins.
Sounds like we're like on a talent hunter. Like it's like when American Idol goes across the country to find.
Oh, yeah. I thought more of like a subtitle of a Star Trek movie. Like Captain Kirk era.
Ah,
They
okay.
all had kind of titles like that.
I see what you're saying.
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking about it now. I don't know where I got the
I like it though.
title. Yeah, okay. But I like the American Idol thing too.
Did you like American Idol?
I did not. At all. Yeah.
Not even like Kelly Clarkson when she won the first one?
Not even. No. I don't like shows like that. I don't like competition shows. They aggravate me. I'm not a big competitive person. So I don't like seeing those on the shows. So many people are good and then they lose, and it's like, plus after the first couple of ones, when you realize the people that lose sometimes are better than the people that are good.
It's happened so many times where it's like they become the bigger stars.
Then it kind of ruins the whole premise of the show. Like, you're finding the next American Idol. Sometimes that winner is struggling while the other one's like a huge pop star. So.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm not like the British Bake Off. People love that show and they keep recommending it to me, and they say it's super wholesome and that you'll love it. But it's just like, I don't know.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Try one episode.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get addicted. I can't get into. That's the other thing, that because it's reality TV, like the good side of reality TV, sure, but it's easy.
Good side.
Well, I think competition shows are the good side, even though I don't like them.
Like Survivor?
No, that's not. No. I mean, like actual talent wise, but they're cheap, so they produce like a ton of episodes. Mm-hmm. So I also feel like they stretch out those competitions. Like there's way too many episodes for that series, but I get it. It's cheap TV. What are you gonna do? So no, we are not searching for the next big star unless you're out there. Then contact us.
Then come find us. Search for us.
Yeah, we got an extra seat here. So there's been changes with us and the landscape, and we talked a little bit about that last week. The different stages that we are, both on this show and in our lives. I'm saying I'm a lot this week for some reason, but we want to focus on how we're moving forward. So this week, before we get into our next series of topics, we're going to take a look at just that, I guess, how we're going to move forward with the show, because, some changes have been going on. First and foremost, I think something I want to talk about last week, but I wanted to kind of just let it bleed over for today, was our relationship with social media and how that impacts not just us, the hosts, but also the show as a whole. I don't know if you want to unpack a little bit.
Yeah, I think in today's age, social media is so many different ways of communication outlets, getting your product or getting yourself out there.
That's such a nice way of putting it.
And like, if you think about it, like, social media is like, yes, a way to start as a way to connect with friends, people that you've lost touch with, or find a way to stay connected with. And I still think it does that. I still think it does a very good job. Maybe Facebook and stuff.
What?
But I also think like social media has become a tool. Social media has become a tool to, like I said, market yourself, create a brand. It's used as a business tool. It's used as a way to reach out and to help people. Even though obviously there are so many, with such a big medium, there's obviously room for negative attention, negative feelings, I guess, hostility, because you're giving everybody a voice, and not everyone's voices are the best.
Everyone deserves to be heard, but not everyone should be.
Not everyone should get a chance to speak.
Yeah.
But I think that it's, even in the way of like just, connecting with friends and stuff like that, I think that sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
And whether it's you want to maintain your privacy, you want to, not put all of your business out there, or, you just don't feel like that's, something that calls to you or you're attracted to very much. I think we're on different sides of the spectrum,
Yeah,
but I think
different
we're on the
wavelengths.
Same, I think we're on the same
I think
side.
we're on the same spectrum. I think we're on different wavelengths.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Okay.
I pressed the button here. Hello?
Yeah, we can still
Sick.
hear you. It's fine. Yeah, I miss when the internet was fun, and that might be a millennial boomer, perspective, but when videos on YouTube were just because somebody wanted to create something, I feel constantly marketed to. And then that created two dualities. One, the fact that I have to be on social media in order for this show to grow, but I don't want to be on social media because I'm being negatively affected as an individual. And then number two, not wanting to be part of that feedback loop. Like, this show isn't a product. It isn't something I want to sell.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like it is, because that's what everything that you create is, a product to sell. You're going on a marketplace. There's not really another alternative for that.
Yeah.
Every video is monetized. Every audio is platformed. And even some of the changes that we've done from the show, moving from one platform, we were previously with Spotify for podcasters,
Spotify.
formerly known as Anchor.
Anchor has the tools to I forgot what it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the ads that
Insert clip there.
and there was that too. There was the okay, if we monetize it, we do the ads. That gives us money, gives us a little something to produce the show with. We can keep growing.
We had money.
Yeah,
We had a fortune, a small fortune.
well, in the sense that we've grown a little bit. We got this table. We've got mics. Remember when
we got
had
equipment. We got equipment. So it's not like we did change our lives, but
yeah. And also, it's not only that. A little bit of growth in numbers, a little bit of growth in feedback, a little bit of a trickle, then gives you the
boost.
Yeah, boost, or I guess inspiration to double down on something. Like, it was like, you know what? I've always wanted to buy a camera. I didn't have a reason to. Now it's like, I will do my personal stuff. I'll take it on vacation, but now we'll have it for the show. And it's like, okay, now I'm going to spend this money because I know I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not going to invest in a computer just to play video games. And Word documents, I can do that on any, laptop. But if we need a computer to produce video, then okay, let's go ahead. So it's kind of like these little incentivizes, I think is the word. Yeah. Incentivizes, not necessarily in my pocket, but incentivizes also emotionally. I feel validated, as in there's a little trickle here of growth.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's obviously those things that you do in anything that you participate, anything that you have a passion for. You need those little incentives. You need those little boosts, those little pats on the back. So it's like, yeah, you're on the right track. You're doing all right. You know. Because it's like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna suck on it.
I'm sorry.
Suck at it. Suck at it. Suck at it. Stop. Okay.
Our producer Nick just turned entirely around in his chair.
The internet is forever.
Yeah.
I suck at ice skating.
Yes.
I'm terrible at it.
You're not the only one.
And so there's some times where it's like, okay, I have I'm doing a lap, and I'm like, okay, I'm surviving. Yeah. And then I bust my ass. But those little moments where I was like, okay, I can kind of hang with my friends for 30 seconds before, I fall into, a pit.
Yeah.
But
actually finish it.
If I couldn't get up, if I couldn't keep trying, or I kept falling, it's not fun to me. That isn't fun, and I'm gonna get off the ice and just never do that again.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot. In
that happened
life,
to me.
Something happens where it's like you have a bad experience, you have multiple bad experiences, or just you don't find it fun anymore.
Yeah. Trauma. That happened to me in that exact experience when I was a child. I have a lot of childhood trauma, and I kind of take the little stuff and attach it to the big stuff. So if it happened to me in childhood, I made up my mind about it. So we went to the ice skating field trip, and nobody had ever taken me ice skating, so I didn't know how to ice skate. So it's like, how hard can it be? Because I did actually roller skate.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I had roller blades, and I was like, okay, the wheels are in a line, the ice is in a line. It must be the exact same thing. No, I just fell. Um, as a child, my perception of the moment was everybody laughed at me. Probably not. Probably didn't happen. But, so I spent the rest of the day just at the arcade. And that ice skating trip was a yearly thing. So from that moment on, straight to the arcade. And it was just all day. Like, I would take the money that my parents would give me to rent the skates, and I would just put it into quarters into the arcade, and probably how I ended up playing like video games at inopportune times for the rest of my life. And to this day, like, we'll go out with my niece. Her birthday's at the ice skating rink. I ain't getting on that ice. Like, I don't care. And I think they make you rent now. Like, basically the rental's included with the entrance.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't get skates.
Yeah.
I'll do a lap here and there, but the reality is, like, my body and mind refuse to learn because a long time ago I decided this is a thing that isn't for me.
And those are the things that I think, like you said, trauma, it stays with you. But I don't think you have like a big necessity to get up on the ice.
Yeah.
Right. And when like you absolutely need to, you do, like you said, you do a couple
Yeah.
laps. But it's not something
To
that's-
make, her happy, because I do love her, but not enough to actually commit to doing
There's also
this.
probably like 4 other people with you that's like, okay, you spend time with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I think like sometimes like obviously there's that you showed like there's a bit of a compromise there, There's a bit of a compromise where, okay, I'll get on the ice for a little bit. It's not something I enjoy doing. It's not something I love to do, but because I love her, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I think that in a similar vein, it's like with this show, there has to be kind of a compromise. I do need a bit of we need to have a bit of a social media presence.
Yeah.
To
Oh, no. I don't like that you're saying this, because I'm just coming to this realization now while you're saying it.
Yeah.
To you.
To just because we love this show, and in order for this show to grow, like that's the world we live in, and that's because I'm not gonna say like I hate social media. No, because it's like I do have social media profiles. I have an Instagram. I have X, whatever, formerly known as Twitter.
I love that we have to say that every time.
And TikTok and stuff like that, and I do consume that, and I do, but there's sometimes that you doing the Elon.
Yeah, the Elon jump in the air.
There are producer did
The
it.
producer's doing it.
There are times where I need a break.
Yeah.
Because I'm on those social media platforms, but there's some times where it's like I just got to delete the app and I need to take a break. Where it's like whatever's going on with, my mental health, my emotional state, just sometimes if I need to focus, if I have an exam, if I have a big week coming up with work or school, there's just times where it's like I notice it's a distractor. And I notice that every time that I delete like Instagram off my phone, the amount of times that I grab my phone and go searching for or like do the muscle memory of trying to go to it, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And
that's me with Reddit.
Yeah, and it makes me realize I'm just like, I am so, tied to this thing. And like, it makes me think I don't want to be. So that's why I have those moments, those periods, those break times. But I also think realistically for this show, because I think because there are times where like we've put out really great stuff, and the people that we had doing that were fantastic.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just this new season. I think it's got to be a way to figure out how to navigate, having a balance of keeping my sanity and being able to promote this show in a way that like is fun and makes people actually want to listen,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same thing as that balance of like privacy versus transparency, like being authentic, but also not being too open. That's just, I guess, the great experiment.
Yeah. Speaking about being open, I think we should be open about some of the changes on the show.
Yeah, I think one of the significant changes 2 weeks in, that if you're listening or watching along at home or in your car or in the gym, or I can continue just listing random places where you can listen or watch the podcast. You're probably wondering, well, where's the third dude? And before I get to that, I do want to say,
Continue.
all right. I do want to share that what I love about this show is how we've like amassed people along the way. We have producer Nick now here in the room, and if you've seen him or heard him on the show in the past, you'll see him throughout the season as well. We have producer Dan, remote producing from Orlando, which
Orlando.
when we lost him, when we lost him geographically, and then as time progressed, I'm actually really honored that we've all stuck with this project and with our temperaments and with our track records. It'd be really easy to be like, oh, I can't anymore now.
Yeah.
But we've all been here. With that in mind, one of us is not here. And that is our dearly departed Linksito. So
I don't know why I did that. I don't know if he's.
Here we don't know.
Dead or
So
alive.
I don't know. I guess we got to change to like a kind of a more serious tone here because I know we're just having fun here. But
Just put
this is
some
like a
music on
difficult.
this.
Yeah, this is a difficult topic to kind of address. We have. You want to go ahead?
Link took a trip.
Yeah.
As you know, he had his new bride
Yep.
towards the end of the season,
Yeah, last year.
and he ended up taking a trip back to the native land of Colombia. This is about 3 weeks
After the show ended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after we took our break,
At the end
everyone's
of
on
summer.
vacation. Everyone's, yeah, sure, let's go. He's like, one last summer trip, Little did he know. He never came back.
Yeah.
We lost contact with him after a while. We aren't specifically sure what happened.
So we know, as if you might remember, if you were following this last season, that Link's wife was affiliated, unbeknownst to him, at the time of their
Allegedly.
marriage. Yeah, allegedly. I guess you're right. Who knows? With the FARC, which is I don't know if I can say the word because of 9/11 and stuff. I mean,
We'll keep it at FARC. You can Google that if you want.
yeah.
It's with a
Google
C.
Colombia, and that's with an O, not with a U. Colombia FARC, okay, with a C. Let's just say a political
It's
organization.
gonna auto tune to Columbia Farts.
Check those subtitles when we post on YouTube. So let's just say they're a aggressive political organization.
Aggressive is a word for it.
Yeah, and apparently she wasn't just affiliated. It turns out she was actually like the head.
She was like a leading commandant.
Yeah.
Which
In the government.
kudos to her, because I would
She's a
never have
go-getter.
guessed. I would
Yeah.
never have guessed.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't agree with
I-
her
yeah,
politics,
but talk about someone not half-assing something. That is
so Link has gone AWOL. He either has absconded or been abducted.
he's either having the time of his life or not.
We got a letter. It said, can't talk right now, no internet. And it was like a crumpled up paper and it was like a scribbled on pencil.
And I think there were like crumbs of like arepa crumbs
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So
It was greasy. The letter was definitely greasy.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
1000%.
So, I mean, I guess we'll keep you up to date if we hear anything, but for the foreseeable future, meaning I think forever.
Yeah, for right now, I mean, unless he makes some miraculous comeback, I don't know if that's going to happen, but maybe it will.
I wouldn't bet on it. So, Link's gone, y'all.
Yeah, so we have these foam fingers to
Yeah.
commemorate his.
Maybe we should do one last scissor just in his honor, I guess.
That's true.
Audio listeners just wondering what's happening. We're holding up
Here.
foam fingers.
This is the foam finger being.
Okay, he's rubbing the foam finger into the microphone, and then we.
All right, this one's for you, Link.
Scissor. All right. Okay, then we'll retire them here in the back as part of the
These
set.
are like the jerseys you hang up.
Yeah. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's never talk about him again. Let's hone in, because I think that's the main topic for the last couple of minutes that we have on this week's episode.
Yeah.
So tell me. Yeah, I mean, you wrote that. You threw that up. Honing in.
I
No?
did.
Okay,
I
mean,
moved it.
Okay.
But anyways, honing in. I think with Link being abducted allegedly, obviously leaves a hole, but also creates leads for opportunity to be, explored.
Yeah, like a single camera shot.
Exactly.
Which looks much better. Now I'm glad I spent all these thousands of dollars on useless pieces of plastic because they look a lot better in the shot.
It's a learning experience.
Yep.
And so I think that with this new season, the way we want to move forward is trying different things out.
Yeah.
And
it's a season of experimentation.
Yeah.
Not that kind.
Not like, sophomore year in college.
Yeah.
So
definitely not.
We want to try different things out with the way that we obviously communicate, the way that we present this show, the way that we put out content and the things that we do here on this show. So tell us a little bit about
some of our ideas.
Yes.
Okay. So one thing that we notice is that weekly grind of coming in and out and forcing that schedule based on what was happening around us. Sometimes we felt a slave to life on one sense, but in a much more realer sense, multi-billion-dollar corporations whose calendar schedule was dictating our voice. This show's coming out. Here's our deadline to watch it. We must respond to it either immediately so that you get direct feedback, or in a timely fashion, but enough time for you guys to consume so that we can talk about our consumption.
We were becoming a reaction channel, which no, disrespect to reaction channels, but that really wasn't what we set out to do.
Right.
And I think that along the way of, trying to keep up with this, it was kind of like, what are people going to listen to? How are we going to get the most amount of listeners? And as much as we love you guys, and we really do love you guys, I think for the most part, we want to tell the stories that we want to tell. We want to present the information that we want to, and we hope that you enjoy it. Some of you do, but
if you don't, just let it play till the end, okay?
Yeah, just go. What are you doing? Yeah, just go for a run. Yeah. Go take a shower. Just leave it playing.
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes
put 5 times speed.
Our vision kind of gets skewed because we want to be popular. We want this brand, this product to be successful.
Not only that, we want a service, right? Because that's what it is, I guess. Because
therapy, as our dearly beloved used to say.
I don't remember who that is.
But I think, I think that sometimes we were just churning out, things, and a lot of these shows have very similar themes.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like
so you start treading.
Yeah, we're just kind of saying the same thing over and over again.
Okay. If in case anyone doesn't remember or hasn't followed us through it, at first we didn't know what we were searching for. When this show started, it was like we're searching for the thing, and over time it kept coming back to hope. So then, like around season 2, we had our theme. It was like, that's what we're searching for. And we started to realize a lot of these narratives are very similar.
Yeah.
Right? Especially because I feel like lately we've been bombarded with a ton of content, and it has been varying degrees of quality. So sometimes we would be queuing up to discuss something that didn't really meet our expectations.
It's just like all these companies put in the ChatGPT, make me a show about this, and then it spit out like 70 of them, and then obviously 1 or 2 are going to hit, But there's still 70 shows that it's like, okay, do I have to watch all these?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's not that we're not going to be talking about what's happening now, but I think that the original idea, or maybe the idea that's evolving and progressing now, is to kind of do a deep dive and go further. At this point, we've talked about a lot of stuff. We've talked about a lot of stuff a lot, and sometimes, as always, you repeat yourself. Like you're in your conversations with your friends and family, you're in your workplace, and you're just regurgitating. So taking some of these topics and expanding them over several weeks in a shorter form of content, because sometimes, let's be honest, guys, I think there was an episode we went like
new Searching for McGuffin episode 125, an hour 25 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to listen to this on my 20-minute drive to work.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a week to get through this narrative, But I think many times those episodes that would go long weren't necessarily because they were just filled with fluff or whatever. It can feel like that because of our attention spans, etc. But I do think it was meaningful. The longer episodes went long because we had so
We had a
much
lot
to
to
say.
say.
So taking that and kind of breaking it down over a longer form, again, shorter form, longer set of conversation. Going into, we're going to talk about this for about a half hour. And I don't know if you noticed, last week we went about a half hour. We're going about a little over a half hour.
Which
this week.
honestly, applaud us because that was incredible.
We've talked about this in the past. In the summer series, we talked about trying to hit that 45-minute mark. We did it, and then we went an hour 20, So this format changes that you're going to see. We don't know what the show's going to look like this season because we're going to try a bunch of stuff. This is what we're thinking now, but we're going to try to deep dive and hone in on a topic for more than 1 week, but in shorter bite size. I think it's going to be better for us because we'll be able to focus and, like you said, hone in on the topic. And I think it's going to be better for any listeners or viewers out there because you're going to be in and out, but you're going to be able to come back to that conversation and build over time.
Exactly.
So
I'm definitely going to be trying some new things. And like you said, it's the season of experimentation and finding who you are. And I can do stuff just like this. I can just get into the camera and talk to you guys like this and just continue here. But one of the big things that that is changing, I think, this season is this will probably be one of the last times for a little bit.
this is the last time as of right now when the holidays come up and and maybe I'm up there or you're down here. Maybe those opportunities will arise. But what is happening is...
So I should probably update you on my life. So
Yes.
I am on a clinical rotation. I'm about to finish physical therapy school. I'm on a clinical rotation in Orlando, Florida. So I will be recording from our Orlando office, our Orlando studio, producer Dan's rented space. So I will be recording from there. So we won't be in the same room for a couple of episodes until I, whenever I make a special appearance and pop in.
or maybe I make a special appearance and pop in.
And so that's
Probably not.
That's probably going to be one of the other biggest changes. So that's another thing that's going to add into what we're figuring out.
Yeah, so the concept for this show from the very beginning was get the people in the room.
Yeah.
Which is always why, for the most part, when we had guests, they were here with us, and we would have that third or fourth voice, depending on who it was. Now, we opened that up a little bit because we realized, sometimes that physical space is a constraint to who you can get. So I believe you guys did some remote episodes without me when I was gone, et cetera, et cetera. So kind of experiment with that, just like we experimented with shortening the length of the episodes. So this is the next stage of that. Circumstance has forced our hand.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Circumstance has forced our hand, but luckily we're very well staffed in the sense that, as you mentioned, Gabe will be in Orlando, produced by Dan, and now producer Nick is here in Miami with us. We experimented some live Twitch streams last season.
I like those. I thought those were fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to moving towards that full time at some point during the season because now it's a reset. We're experimenting with the new format starting next week and how that recording communication process will be and how that will look through a live format, especially, like I mentioned, with the series format.
Little tidbit. Whenever the Twitch streams do start, we're thinking about just kind of leaving kind of like an open channel just to record. So if you watch the Twitch streams,
exclusive content behind the scenes.
You won't have to pay $50 to hear us talk crap.
That's right. So that in and of itself is an experiment. I don't know. I'm not promising anything. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
Accountability, who? Yeah. But yeah. So, and we are gonna try and get more people to come into the studio and talk and just get more guests. I think we've had a number of guests, but I think with the space, I think especially in this studio, I think it'll be a bit easier. But also, we just got to do better at reaching out.
Yeah. No.
Social media, not half-assing that.
That's right. And the other thing is, too, like I said, since the format was people in a room, now the format is remote. So we might as well just go crazy and be able to just get whoever and throw in a third remote. We're already doing it remotely. So with that thought in mind, I'm looking forward.
I'm excited.
And I hope you're excited too. And if you're not excited, get excited. Pretend to be excited. Or again, just put 2 times speed and let it autoplay
Guys,
the next
just,
episode.
What are you doing? Like, you
Come
don't.
on.
You, just please.
It's nothing. I do it for a bunch of people. Okay.
Anyway, I'm not gonna beg, unless
it'll work. So with that thought in mind, that is the end of our introduction. These past 2 weeks, setting up where we've been, where we're going, and next week, we start experimenting with the freaky stuff.
stop half-assing and keep on searching.